We are here with Andy Crouch, the author of The Tech-Wise Family. What I love about The Tech-Wise Family is you've incorporated some research that the Barna Group's done along with your experiences. And one of the things that we found in the research was that about 77% of parents think that it is more difficult to raise teenagers today than when they were growing up. What did you guys find when you asked them why they think it's so difficult to raise teenagers?
Almost 2/3 of those parents, when you drill down and ask them why, say because of the omnipresence of technology. But what really makes it hard is we're the first ones to have to deal with it. We can't go to the wisdom of previous generations. There is no inherited cultural tradition. Even in the most expansive definition of technology, we're only 200 years into this story out of thousands and thousands of years of the human race. In many ways, we're 20 years into the real effect of technology kind of in all of its ramifications. And so we are all just figuring this out as we go along. And of course, young people, children, youth, young adults are really facile with this. They figure it out very quickly. Adults often just aren't motivated to figure it out, or sometimes a little slower. And so you also have this kind of turning upside down of expertise, where parents used to be the experts on the world. They knew how to operate in the world, and they could teach their children that. They're better technically, but they actually, just like all the generations, are absolutely adrift in how we actually manage this in a way that's healthy. None of us know how to do this. We all need help. And so actually, I think this is not just a parenting problem or a family problem, it's a human problem. And the kids, by the way, when we asked kids, what do you wish was, or most wish was different in your relationship with your parents? Their number one answer is, I wish my parents would get off their screens and talk to me.
Share a little bit of some of the things in the book that you've done to help guide parents. Because what I felt when I was reading it was, this is really more about spiritual direction,
yes,
more than it is, here's tips and tricks for keeping your kids safe from the internet.
Yeah, our power, I think, actually, and our role as parents is to set deep commitments in place in our family that actually show our kids what we believe real life is about. And so the book starts with that. You know, the deepest thing family should be for is the formation of persons of wisdom and courage. I actually think the greatest threat technology offers to our family is that it promises to make life easy, when actually life in the family, in a way, is meant to be hard. So the very foundation of the book is not how do we handle this or that app or even this or that device. It's how do we make our family a place where everybody knows what we're about is pursuing wisdom and courage together. In the book, I talk about two things that are just never going to change for human beings, and that's space and time. So time goes all the way back to the commandment of Sabbath. God's people were commanded to actually have this rhythm of work and rest. Now, our new devices say, oh, you don't have to rest anymore. You can work anytime, anywhere. But if you have a Sabbath mindset, you realize that's very dangerous spiritually. And it does not seem that it's what God made us for. God made us for a rhythm of work and rest. So we actually, in our family, have structured time. 1 hour a day, 1 day a week, and 1 to 2 weeks a year, we basically turn everything off. So the other thing we've done is we've realized we're human beings. You know, what's the oldest truth about human beings? We're created in bodies. We're made out of the dust. We're made of physical stuff. And something about that is essential to our human nature. We're not just brains. We're not just minds. We're not even just souls or spirits. We're actually in a body. And so bodies move through space. And the way you shape the space of your home really matters. So what our family what my wife and I decided to do when the kids were very small, we said we're going to put all the sort of glowing things, all the glowing rectangles, at the very edges of our house. They are not going to be at the center of our house. And if you come to our home and walk in our first floor to the kind of heart of the home where we spend most of our time as a family, there's almost nothing technological visible, and that's totally intentional. The TV is way downstairs, it's in the basement. We can go there if we want to watch something, but it's not at the heart of the house. The various screens are kept at the edge, and instead we've filled the center of the home, the space where we spend the most time, with things that actually require embodied engagement. One of the really scary things we found out in the research is the great majority of teenagers and we all know this, take their phones to bed with them. The problem is, you need to be a healthy human embodied creature. You need, especially in your teen years, 8 to 9 hours of total rest. So, one of the things we say, and I say in the book, is a rule our house has, is our devices go to bed before we do, and we wake up before they do. So rather than going to bed with it and then waking up, rolling over, swipe to see what's new, we put our devices to bed on this little docking station in the kitchen, and we all go to our bedrooms, and we have this beautiful, blissful time where we're not acting like a device. The device can keep gathering email. I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to rest from that. And you need to help your kids have that discipline, I think.
Andy, thank you so much for your time today, and thank you for the book, The Tech-Wise Family. I think it's going to be a real help to parents. I know I wish I'd had it 15 years ago when I was starting out with my kids. I think it's going to be a real important tool. Thank you very much for being with us today.
Absolutely, my pleasure.